And to that point, once you add international law, once you add a foreign leader here, I mean, just how complicated is this case? I'm assuming that this is not going to be wrapped up anytime soon.
No, I would not think this case is going to go quickly because I think there are so many moving parts. This is probably one of the most, I would say, this is probably one of the most difficult cases, that you could file to try to prosecute because of the interplay in all of it. And we've prosecuted foreigners in the past under Foreign Corrupt Practice Act cases and things along those lines. But the way that those cases came about and the way those people were apprehended, usually it was on United States soil. We were talking about something that involved, people in the United States and acts that happen in the United States. And so this case really just is layer upon layer of difficulty because of that. And I think, once you start involving, international law and what countries can and can't do to other countries and other rulers, we open up something that may have to be resolved long before we ever get to whether or not we can prosecute them here.
There are other co-defendants on this indictment aside from Maduro and his wife, including Maduro's son, the Minister of the Interior in Venezuela, the alleged head of the Trinidad gang. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio was asked over the weekend why the United States didn't grab all of these co-defendants while grabbing Maduro as well as his wife. And he said we couldn't just, sweep up 5 other people. This was a highly coordinated attack, essentially, is what he said. We got the top priority and we couldn't suck up more, is essentially what he said, that this was a sophisticated and frankly complicated operation. But since the top priority, according to Marco Rubio, was captured, do you think that the United States is going to continue to search and look after and try to obtain the other co-defendants here?
Potentially, but I think their top priority, who they apprehended, I think was who they were after for reasons outside of this indictment that have been stated. So yes, maybe, or maybe they'll wait until they, if they ever come to US soil, try to apprehend them. But we see this in other drug cases that are filed in federal court where people are charged and they live in different countries and those indictments sit out there forever and they might have other co-defendants who are prosecuted along the way. But I think in this case, I think it's pretty clear that Maduro Moros was the target in this, both he and his wife. Otherwise, they would have gotten everybody all at once. I don't think going in there with another military type operation is likely, although that may change in time as well.
And Maduro made his first federal court appearance on Monday. He pleaded not guilty. He said that he's innocent. He also reportedly said he's a decent man and he's still president of Venezuela. What are you looking out for next year?
I think what we're going to see are challenges to jurisdiction and the arrest, first of all, whether or not he's even should be legally here in the country, whether or not this indictment passes constitutional muster as far as jurisdiction, and then, how international law plays into it. I think those will probably be the next steps. I don't know that we're going to see the traditional detention type hearing or argument that would normally be made. I really think this is going to turn on jurisdiction, the arrest, and then international law before we see anything else.
Skye, I really appreciate your insight here, your expertise. As we see more developments here, as well as other cases, I hope you can come back on and break them down with me. Thanks so much for the time.
Yep, always love being with you.